Madagascar is one of the world's most important biodiversity hotspots. The island separated from all other landmasses 88 million years ago, leaving the abundant plant and animal life to thrive and evolve. Today, 90% of Madagascar's flora and fauna are found nowhere else on Earth. But the forests are under threat. Extreme poverty has driven local Malagasy to logging and slash-and-burn farming, permanently destroying vast tracts of natural forest. Endemic wildlife are killed for bushmeat by those desperate to survive and feed their families. Turning these destructive practices around will mean finding ways for locals to benefit from the natural environment. This is where Association Mitsinjo comes in. A team of dedicated locals like Justin Claude, who are working to bridge the divide between poverty and conservation to save the island's natural heritage. The giraffe neck weevil, the Indri lemur, the leaf-tailed gecko, all unique animals only found on the island of Madagascar. The island nation's distinct ecosystems and extraordinary wildlife have developed in abundance by being isolated from other landmasses for millions of years. Tourists from around the world come to the island to experience this unique flora and fauna. This motivated locals living close to the forest station to start tours of the forest, a way for locals to make money. Justin Claude, a founding member of Mitsinjo, is a popular guide.
So we start here, and we go straight on this way, then we across the tree nursery. Then we go up here, because according to the last information, the Indri is somewhere around here. Yeah. Mm. And after this, we continue if it's possible to see something different. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Starting out as guides in the late 1990s, the team's work grew into much more. In 2003, Mitsinjo gained management of the forest station. The main focus is conservation, research and sustainable development initiatives. All Mitsinjo staff are local Malagasy, which keeps profits within the villages.
Tourists come to the village and ask somebody if it's possible to see something in the forest. The guide is just a spotter. So only a few people benefited by the ecotourism at the beginning. So Mitsinjo was formed in 1999. By the local villagers. They do not have work. At the beginning, we are starting as a guide only, protecting the forest, trying to plant trees, work a little bit in human health.
At the age of 17, Justin was the youngest Mitsinjo founder.
So here in the middle, this is me.
And he has played a role in just about every aspect of its maturity.
Mitsinjo means is looking ahead, looking for the future. Mitsinjo, like this. So that is my way. I am here. I must go there.
This small tree nursery within the park is one of 5 operating to reform the region since Yusuf, another Mitsinjo founding member, started the program in 2004.
Before, I was a guide, and after they asked me to help them to make a reforestation here. Because I was born here in this village, I can do this work because I have many knowledge about the rainforest here. Now we have prepared this mixed soil for the the potting soil. And I use this mycorrhiza because they need the mycorrhiza for help to grow fast. This project is a program to planting a more tree, native tree here, to absorb the carbon in the atmosphere. We restore the 25 hectares per year. So we must grow 30,000 seedlings and with 60 different species of the native tree.
So welcome to the tree nursery. As you see in here, this is one of the biggest projects we have. It was started in 2005. The pine trees, guava trees, eucalyptus are not from Madagascar. And this species of plant is something like invasive species. They stop the other species to grow. So we have to remove them and replace it by the native species. Yep. Giraffe-necked weevil.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
It's flying away.
Have you seen? I think you have seen this plant already.
Yes.
So this is a traveler's palm. So the leaf it used for making roof. As you see in the ex-bungalow in Andasi Bay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's made by the leaf of these plants. Yep. And also we can find water inside in these plants. So we try to find. Okay. So the water is not from the plants, but it is from the rain. Yeah. So if you find this plant in the forest like this, the water is safe. There is one. So that is also the reason why we call it traveler's palm, because when you go alone into the forest, you may not have any water bottle, but it is possible to drink water. Yeah.
Justin Claude has uncovered these secrets of the forest during the course of his life. He lives in the small village of Andasi Bay with 3 generations of family.
This is my father. This is me. This is my mother.
His wife Francoise, daughter Anita, son Leonardo, and 20-year-old adopted son Andre. His stepmother and father, who was a forest ranger until being let go in the 1990s, live here too.
I remember when I was a child, playing in the forest with the friends, like hunting birds, finding honey. So it's already a big lesson that you give me, that I was doing many things here with you, and now I'm working here.
Justin Claude has known some of the other guides, like Yusuf, since they were children.
Justin Claude is like a part of my family. When I was the child, I was playing with Justin Claude near this forest. And sometimes we was going in a forest to looking for like a firewood and the wild honey, and just relax in the rainforest. The humanity depend of the forest, and the forest depend of the animals, and the animals depend of the forest.
The village is inside the national park, managed by the association since 2003. The members moved from being simple guides to protectors of the forest.
Almost the original founders of this association still here, because each founders has their own responsibility.
Justin Claude dedicates a lot of his time to the amphibian program. Madagascar is thought to have more than 300 species of frogs, 99% of which are endemic. These are one of the most critically endangered creatures on the island.
This is my project. as I started in 2010, the goal of this project is to work on the amphibian conservation, because this is the first of its kind in Madagascar. I went to train in the US in 2013 because Mitsinjo runs the first breeding facility in Madagascar. So even here we have many biologists, but nobody knows about how to breed frog, how to keep frog in captivity. I am the first person who can do this. The amphibians of Madagascar are threatened by many different things. Habitat loss, pet trade, disease. So that is the reason why it is not allowed for people to go inside of this facility.
The small-scale but widespread clearance of forests, primarily for firewood and charcoal, is destroying the island's habitats. As a result, several species, including lemurs, chameleons, and frogs, may become extinct before the end of the century. A plot burned for farming is only good for one season. Then farmers move on, destroying tract by tract of forest with every crop.
I like the nature and the animals, fauna and flora. And I like to collaborate with local people. Dia tanareo toy ny ahitra to zany. Rehefa vao misy an'ity bozaka ity mantsy ty ambanin'ity tany ity dia tsy afaka maniry mihitsy le ahitra maitso. Today I make the practice of them to plant the beans. They don't do the slash and burn, no. It's better for the forest and the animals, just for everyone in this area.
The farmer behind me is doing the slash and burn. The soil is going to be destroyed by this activity. I am going to tell something to the villagers here. I don't know if they will listen to me about this, to stop slash and burn. Kore.
Convincing farmers to change their farming practices will take time. Justin Claude and the team recognize the importance of educating locals about how they need to work with the natural resources rather than against them.
Some of them still continuing, but even though Mitsinjo is trying to continue again to talk with everybody to stop it forever.
For Justin Claude, education and appreciation for the forest's plants and animals starts at home. He gets his adopted son Andre involved, helping to collect worms to feed the frogs being bred in captivity. The program aims to repopulate future generations of endangered frogs in the park.
What do you want as a job when you finish your study?
Gendarme.
Gendarme? Just so slowly. If we push it so fast, the earthworm must be die. Here we have these 3 different species in 2 different tanks. They almost eat everything. We must spray the frog because, you know, frogs are not the same as the other animals because they breathe through the skin. This is one of the second generation from the species we have in the facility. And, it is not allowed for the people to go inside the facility. So that is the reason why we have to establish this small captive breeding here, like a public terrarium for the tourists, for the students.
Despite his commitment to the amphibian program, Justin Claude manages to still maintain his status as a popular guide. One of the highlights for tourists is the unique Indri lemur.
Okay, now we are not far from the Indri group, but I don't know yet where they are exactly.
And Justin Claude is off to track them for his guests. Tourists from around the world are drawn to the forests of Madagascar, which hosts an abundant array of plant and animal life. Today, Justin Claude, a local guide, is tracking the Indri, the largest of Madagascar's nearly 100 different species of lemur. Their haunting whale-like call can be heard as far as 2 kilometers away. Sadly, nearly all of Madagascar's lemurs are classified as rare, vulnerable or endangered, and at least 17 species of lemur have become extinct since early humans arrived on the island.
This is one of the research we do here to learn about their behavior. Once upon a time, a small boy named Kutu went into the forest to find honey, and he found a beehives in a tree, and he is trying to climb up there to collect the honey. And he doesn't have any idea how to moving down on the ground. But an Indri arrive and bring Kutu on the back and bring him on the grounds. So the family puts like a strict rules. So it is forbidden for the Kutu's family to eat the Indri.
In 2007, I started to observe the behavior, the range of lemur. All species lemurs, they hunt except of Indri, because of the Malagasy people think Indri is the relatives.
Superstitious fables in Madagascar, called fadi, can have both positive and negative consequences for the island's animals, depending on what the locals believe. This is where education comes in. Mitsinjo engages in a variety of education, social development and capacity building programs for the communities they support, including in primary schools.
Comme Mitsinjo avait besoin d'une responsable d'éducation environnementale, et plus que c'est aussi une liaison sur l'enseignement. Et j'ai accepté parce que j'étais née ici et c'est important pour moi, l'environnement, et d'un amour de la nature aussi au plus. Et on travaille avec des écoles aux alentours d'Andassi. Durant l'année scolaire, on faisait ça. Et pendant les vacances, on essaye de faire des clubs. Ce sont des enfants qui n'ont pas le moyen d'aller faire des voyages. Aujourd'hui, notre leçon, c'était sur l'Indri. Deborah. Yeah, Deborah Ross. Le fade aussi font partie des choses qui nous aident sur la conservation. Parce que les gens ici, ils ne mangent pas, ils ne bouffent pas l'indri. Ni sawana, si ni zavatra manodidina sawana.
Misy vava, misy tanana, dia misy tongotra. Ty zao afaka manao goïta ty. Azonareo zany? Afaka manao.
Mais les enfants qui n'ont pas cette possibilité, on leur prenne ici pour étudier ou bien c'est pas seulement se focaliser par une étude, mais aussi on fait des jeux pour se distraire.
Today, Tiana and Justin Claude are working on rural development projects.
In this small village in Minalamba, in 2008, we established this project here. Ravao is one of the local people, local women from this village, who is in charge of teaching all the local people here about the family planning and HIV.
Mama, mandritra ny enim-bolana ipolo isan'andro, mandritra ny enim-bolana devoaro tsy ho bevoka mihitsy ianao.
Back in the forest, Tiana is tracking the common brown lemur, another one of the lemur species found in this part of Madagascar.
Hard to find them. They move, but difficult to follow them. Look, there are. That one is one group and one family. And common brown, they was hunted. When I did the expedition in the forest, I found many traps with the common brown. One common brown almost died because of the trap. It's not really good. And the individual now is a decrease. Very sad.
Lemurs aren't the only creatures that can sometimes prove difficult to find.
There is animal sleeping on a plant here, on this vine and this tree. So this animal, we call it the king of camouflage. The king of camouflage, because when they sleep on a trunk, it looks like the barks of the tree. Yeah, it's a night active animal. So the name is the mossy leaf-tailed gecko. The gecko does not change color.
Yes.
So it is not the same as chameleon. So when it sleeps, it must find the same color as its skin.
Whereas Justin Claude's older son has little interest in following in his footsteps, his younger son Leonardo enjoys helping with the conservation work. This evening, they head off together to catalogue the frog species they find in the reserve.
I'm not sure for 100%, but I hope he will like this. Because when I ask him, do you like this work? And he says, yes. And I say, why? I just like it, he says. That's all. That's all. You. We found one frog, so we have to take photo. Then after, we can check in the book. Okay. 25, 60, 50. We can identify which species is always in this height. It is maybe one of the Platypellis barburi. Platypellis. Okay, this one. Platypellis barburi. We found this one. This one and this one. This is the same. Something. This. Mayan ni kan san futsi mai talte. Sanyo. We can hear two different species here now. It's just, huh? Can you see? Italo. I can't see anything, but just the water is moving like this. He says there is some frog in the water there. But I hear two different species. Oh, yes, here. Come over here. Can you see it? It's a big frog. Good guy. Well spotted. I was thinking about Buphis pyrus, but this is a different one. Walk, walk. That is the sound of this species. So this is a Buphis madagascariensis, which has this two spines on the knee, I think. And also the size is smaller. So this is a male. Walk, walk. Walk. Because he always preferred working with me in the forest, in the village, almost everywhere. I grew up here for these 35 years, and I really appreciate this nature here. My life depends on the forest here.
To ensure the survival of the island's unique flora and fauna, Mitsinjo members must continue to promote the value of the island's unique natural heritage.
I like staying near the forest. I like staying near the nature.